any of the pigs? Yes, I did. I'm not gonna let it sit there and spoil, okay? It's nice prime pork.
And we could smell next to your house?
Yes, right next to my house, and I didn't want it smelling bad. Technically, I did.
Okay, so what happens at the next house?
The next house, I basically said the same thing, but he was shaving, and he said, I'm shaving the hairs on my chin, and I'm like, whatever. So I asked him, can I have a cup of sugar? And he said no. And then I sneezed. I didn't blow his house down. I didn't huff and puff and blow his house down. Where did all that come from? I just sneezed, and his house is made out of sticks, so obviously it fell down too. And apparently, I don't know how that can kill a pig, but it did. And that's more prime rib. That's prime ribs right there. So I hate that too.
And then what happened at the third brother's house?
Well, I walked up to his house and I'm like, can I have a cup of sugar? And she's like, not by the hair of my chin. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, I said, I'm baking a cake for my granny. And she's like, your granny can go sit on a pen.
So there was abusive language.
There was abusive language against my grandma. And so she was going in, so I decided to go down the chimney to get a cup of sugar, to try to get a cup of sugar from her, and to try to kind of beat her up for saying bad language against my granny. So
Stealing.
Burglary.
I was
Attempted. But she was roasting marshmallows, so I kind of squashed her marshmallows, and it really burned.
It only singed.
Oh, yeah, right. You would know.
Crime of trespass.
And then I kind of walked away. I did not huff and puff and blow their house down.
Won't you try?
I did not. I sneezed.
No talking.
How did you know you can't blow it? You could have huffed it up.
Well, my neighbors, I had the cold for weeks, and I kind of been bothering them with all my sneezing.
Your only neighbors are the pigs.
No.
You said I got medication from the doctor, but you didn't go to the doctor in the first place.
What do you mean by go to the doctor? An appointment or go to the doctor to get something? Go to the
You know what I'm talking about.
I did go to the doctor to get medication.
But then you lied to me the first time. You said you didn't go
I
to the
did
doctor
not.
at all.
I never said I didn't go to the doctor at all.
She did.
You did not.
Okay, and how do we know you wanted sugar for your granny's cake? How do we know you didn't even want just some nice bacon?
Because everybody in the neighborhood, besides apparently her and her brothers, knew it was my grandma's birthday. And I was baking her a cake, so I needed a cup of sugar. I just happened not to have a cup of sugar. Can't a guy get a cup of sugar, girl, get a cup of sugar anymore?
But you didn't even ask them.
I
for
did.
A cup of sugar. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Granny can go sit on a pin. She really said her allergies were acting up, and I'm sorry it came across that way, but she really said, come in, come in. But it just sounded like you could sit on a pin. Her allergies were acting up.
I don't know about that.
And that's all.
How bad was the cold?
It was pretty bad.
What were the symptoms?
It was like very bad, like sneezing, and the coughing stage got over, so did the sore throat, but then there's just a stuffy nose and sneezing. I just sneezed rapidly, and it got really hard. So that was my alarm clock in the mornings.
Was the wolf baking a cake?
Yes, because I could smell it. It smells rabbit, but yeah.
Did she ask you for sugar?
Yes, she did, and I told her I don't have any sugar here, so why don't you go ask the pigs? And she's like, I'll do that. And so she went to ask the pigs.
Does the pig even have allergies?
Yes. No, the pig does not have allergies.
Okay.
It hasn't sneezed. I would have heard it if it sneezed.
Did she ask the pigs for sugar, or did she just knock on the door?
Well, she knocked on the door and asked, can I come in? And they said no, so she didn't even have time. So she's like, then how? And then she sneezed.
They never. They never.
Come on, Miss Giraffe.
Where are you writing it? You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
You may be seated.
Thank you, court officer.
You're welcome.
Okay. The houses were made out of straws and sticks. Would they or would they not fall down?
They would.
Was there a drought at this time?
Not that I remember.
Okay, so the sticks were all watered and moldy and they were crumbling.
Yes.
That might be how the house fell in. We're done.
The defense.
Why don't you ask? No, why don't you ask me?
Okay, closing statements to the jury.
Wait, no, she doesn't get to do this, she gets
Oh,
out.
yeah, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You are the pig's neighbor, right?
Right.
So you see them pretty much every day or not?
Well, I'm not usually outside a lot, but I see them every once in a while.
So how would you know if they had allergies or not?
Because I saw them the day before the house blew down, and they did not have allergies.
Well, allergies don't act up every day, they act up every once in a while.
Right.
So maybe the day you saw them, her allergies weren't acting up, but then that day, her allergies were acting up.
Right. But she said because I also talked to her the day before, and she said that her allergies were gone.
Where did that come from? She sneezed. She still killed them, so it's still pretty much a crime. And after that, she still ate them. So we think that she should go to prison for a lifetime and pay $500 for the damages of the houses, because that took a long time for them to build.
Why can't I have Jake?
You can't. And that's it.
You're gonna go out and deliberate.
The wolf was just trying to borrow a cup of sugar. And allergies act up for a whole season, not just one day off, one day on. They should finally give her the cup of sugar. She had a bad cold, and she needed it for her granny's cake. They're done.
Judy, do you have a verdict?
Yes, we find the wolf guilty of first-degree murder and should spend a lifetime in prison and give the fees or whatever, $500 to them for the houses.
First degree murder.
Oh.